George Soros, the billionaire who bet against the world and won. In the world of high-stakes finance, few names command as much intrigue, admiration, and controversy as George Soros. A man who built a fortune on bold bets, calculated risks, and an unshakable belief in his own theories, Soros is more than just a billionaire investor. He's a philosopher in the markets, a philanthropist in politics, and a living legend in the world of finance. Surviving war, embracing opportunity. Born Georgy Schwartz in 1930 in Nazi-occupied Hungary, Soros's early life was anything but privileged. His family, Jewish by heritage, survived the horrors of World War II by adopting false identities and navigating the chaos with resilience. That survival instinct would define Soros's future. In 1947, he left a war-torn Europe for the promise of a new life in London, where he studied philosophy at the London School of Economics, LSE, under Karl Popper, a thinker who would deeply influence Soros's worldview. Yet philosophy wouldn't pay the bills. Like many young dreamers, Soros took the first job he could find, at a merchant bank, Singer, and Friedlander. It was there that he learned the mechanics of finance, and by 1956 he made his move to Wall Street, where his real journey would begin. The birth of a financial titan. In 1969, Soros launched Double Eagle, his first hedge fund, which he later transformed into Quantum Fund. Armed with a razor-sharp intellect and an appetite for risk, Soros revolutionized investing. Unlike traditional investors who relied on company fundamentals, he embraced the global macro strategy, predicting major economic shifts before they happened. His method? He viewed markets as imperfect reflections of reality, shaped by human emotions rather than rational calculations. This insight led to his reflexivity theory, a concept that explains how markets are driven by perception rather than mere supply and demand. Simply put, Soros believed markets are often wrong, and he was willing to bet big on it. The man who broke the Bank of England. Soros's most famous trade came in September 1992, when he made a $1 billion profit in a single day by shorting the British pound. Betting that the pound was overvalued within the European Exchange Rate Mechanism, ERM, he took an aggressive short position. When the Bank of England couldn't prop up its currency, the pound crashed, and Soros walked away victorious. The trade was so legendary that he became known as the man who broke the Bank of England. This wasn't luck. It was strategic genius. He saw what others didn't, the inevitability of economic forces overpowering government intervention. It was a masterclass in understanding both market psychology and economic fundamentals, mastering the art of the big bet. Soros didn't just thrive on currency speculation, he made money wherever he saw opportunity. He shorted the Thai baht during the 1997 Asian financial crisis, invested in emerging markets, and even capitalized on the dot-com bubble before it burst. He wasn't afraid to go against the grain, making massive, leveraged bets that carried enormous risk, but even greater rewards. His strategy? High conviction, high leverage, and an unwavering belief in his thesis. He was a contrarian, someone who bought when others panicked and sold when others felt invincible. Unlike Warren Buffett, who plays the long game with value investing, Soros was a market timer, thriving in volatility and uncertainty, from Wall Street to the world stage. By the early 2000s, Soros had amassed over $25 billion in wealth. But rather than hoarding his riches, he turned to something even bigger: philanthropy. Through the Open Society Foundations, OSF, he has donated over $32 billion to causes ranging from human rights to democracy building in Eastern Europe. His foundation has supported everything from free education to media independence, embodying his belief in an open, free society. His philanthropy, however, has made him a target. Critics accuse him of using his wealth to influence politics, funding progressive causes, and even orchestrating global events, claims that have fueled countless conspiracy theories. Yet love him or hate him, his impact is undeniable. The final chapter? Not yet. At 94 years old, Soros has begun handing over control of his empire to his son Alex Soros, marking a shift in leadership for OSF. But even in his later years, his influence remains strong. Whether in financial markets or global politics, the ripples of his decisions are still felt. His net worth today? A still massive $6.7 billion, even after giving most of his fortune away. The Soros legacy, a master of markets and minds. George Soros is more than a hedge fund manager. He's an intellectual powerhouse, a risk-taker who defied economic norms, and a philanthropist who reshaped the world in his image. His legacy is complex, controversial, and larger than life. For those who admire him, Soros is a genius who turned markets into a chessboard and played the ultimate long game. For his detractors, he's a manipulator whose financial influence extends too far. But one thing is clear. He understood the world's financial and political pulse better than anyone else. And that, more than anything, is what made him one of the most fascinating figures of our time.